Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel for my round 4 match of the Maryland Midseason Showdown against Juwon Kim, who actually, okay, I gotta talk about this for a second. Juwon Kim, he's a Virginia player. He top cut the Virginia regional this year. I don't know if he got top 8 or top 4. I really don't remember. I think he got 5th maybe, but this guy has been using the same kind of strategy for like almost 2 years, which maybe longer, but that's as long as I've known him. He just loves Lilligant in the sun, chlorophyll, focus sash with teeter dance, and his team, you don't see it on the screen, but the full team was Musharna, Groudon, Terrakion, Gengar, Kyurem White, and and Lilligant. So I was very worried about seeing a Lilligant and then him just turn one bringing out Lilligant and Groudon, and then after you Eruption or something crazy like that, or like Protect Teeter Dance. I was just that thing was very disturbing. So I figure here, he's got a Musharna, so he's got a Trick Room mode, or maybe he doesn't even have Trick Room on it. But having played Musharna and having researched it, I know that it gets Trick Room, it gets Gravity, Hypnosis, those fun things that I used before. But also it gets After You. And if you don't know how After You works, basically, if you use After You on a Pokemon, that Pokemon becomes the next Pokemon to move, regardless of whether or not it would have outsped all the other Pokemon. So if you have a fast Pokemon, using After You on a much slower Pokemon, now that slow Pokemon goes in front of the other two who might have outsped it. And you might be wondering, well, why that seems like really good. Well, that's, the Lilligant can do that with the sun, the chlorophyll. Why would you want that on Musharna? Why does that matter? Well, if I set up Trick Room for him, Musharna is slower than my Bronzong. So he can After You his Groudon in Trick Room, which is, I believe, a fast Groudon from looking at his team. And even though I would normally outspeed him, he can get off a Precipice Blades or an Eruption or whatever. So I'm going to shut up and get into the game. But Juwon's a good player, and I'm very worried going into this because his team is weird and I don't know what to expect. So he leads Terrakion Gengar, and I'm baffled by this. I lead Bronzong Kangaskhan, so I'm actually not in a bad position. So I kind of spoiled it, but I do assume that it is Mega Gengar because it's the only Pokemon on his team that can Mega Evolve, and it makes sense to want to trap me in and just punch things with Terrakion. So my thought here is, okay, do I want to set up Trick Room? Kinda. Do I want to just get some damage on the Gengar? Yeah, I really do. I honestly just want to be able to Gyro Ball the Gengar, because I think it'll definitely I don't know if it'll knock it out in one hit. I don't think it will, but I know it'll two-shot. And you know what? If he wants to switch out to Terrakion, fine. He'll probably just leave it in and try and close combat my Kangaskhan. I'm fine with that. I'm going to go ahead and fake it out just to get some chip damage. Maybe disrupt some kind of shenanigans. I don't know what he wants to do. If he wants to, like, roar my Bronzong away to prevent Trick Room. So I just decide fake it out, break a possible Focus Sash so I can Gyro Ball it later, whatever. And then Gyro Ball into the Gengar. Because I know he's going to Mega Evolve, but I want to get this Trick Room up, and if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get Trick Room up, and he'll take out my Kangaskhan for me, which is kind of my thought process. That's really what I'm going for. And so yeah, just remember I fake out the Terrakion, and I Gyro Ball the Gengar, because Gengar is fast and will take a lot of damage. So he doesn't protect Terrakion, so I think he was either going for a Roar or a Close Combat. I don't know, I didn't ask him. And he goes ahead and he went for a Substitute. So at that point I'm like, well, it's a good thing I Gyro Balled, get some chip damage and prevent some Substitute shenanigans. But here, this next turn, he's pretty free to Substitute again, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I can't touch the Gengar with the Kangaskhan, and I don't want to keep just Gyro Balling the Gengar until it, because he could protect. He could just keep substituting, whatever. That's not a good utilization of Bronzong. So here, I thought, I could Gyro Ball into Terrakion, but I don't want to get off the field. I want to set up my Trick Room, and I want to have Kangaskhan go down so I can bring in Groudon. So here I thought, you know what? In the off chance he does something weird, like roar my Bronzong, I'll low kick the Terrakion, and then I'll just go for a Trick Room. And I figured he would substitute, and he does. Which, you know, still, the Gengar's at half health now, so a Gyro Ball later on in the battle will take it out if I can get rid of the substitute. So he goes ahead and he takes out my Kangaskhan with his Terrakion, which is fine. It's, you know, it's good for me because I'm going for a Trick Room. But, you know, his defense and special defense go down. And then he reveals White Herb. And I was very surprised by that. You know, it makes sense though because the Lilligant is most likely the one holding the Focus Sash. So the White Herb caught me off guard. I was a little surprised by that. Now I send in Groudon. And here's the thing about Groudon. This is why I like this team. Because I figure that, you know, I figure that the Gengar is going to protect. He's not going to want to switch out because he's got a substitute. So the Gengar is more than likely going to protect here. And even if it doesn't, what is it doing to Groudon? I don't care. Terrakion can switch out. I'm really worried about Musharna coming in. I'm really, like, either Musharna switching in or, like, taking out the Terrakion and Musharna getting a free switch in. So I actually don't want to set up Gravity here. I really don't want to. I want to just Swords Dance on his Protect and then Gyro Ball into the Terrakion. So he does Protect, so I get that right. And I think here, I think he was just letting his Terrakion go down to get Musharna in. So yeah. But he definitely was not expecting a Swords Dance, because when I get the Swords Dance up, he was very surprised, audibly surprised. I believe his exact words were, "Oh crap." So I get that +2 attack up. He doesn't have any Intimidators, so I'm in a pretty good position here. And I'm just thinking, oh, please don't have Musharna. Bring in anyone. Bring in Kyurem. Bring in Groudon. I don't care. Wouldn't you know it, he brings in Musharna. So, and here's the thing. And I just spoiled it totally, but I was thinking, alright, I can't set up Gravity because I don't want him to Hypnosis me. I can't do this and that. Like, I figure I'll just Gyro Ball into the Gengar to break its substitute and then Precipice Blades. Because he can't Hypnosis me because, you know, that's too risky. It's only 55% accurate. So I just go for a Gyro Ball Precipice Blades. But he gets the Hypnosis, which, you know what? It's not hacks. It's not anything crazy, you know. It is just very improbable, but I guess it was his best play. So here, I actually make a mistake. I misclick, and I accidentally target the Musharna with the Gyro Ball, and that was not good because I need to break the substitute on the Gengar. But he goes for a Sludge Bomb into Groudon, which is all right because, you know, it'll do a decent amount, but he can't poison me because I'm asleep. So that actually was kind of nice. So he withdraws his Gengar, which is pretty, you know, expected, and sends in his Groudon. At which point I'm thinking here, you know what? Is if I wake up and get a Precipice Blades, I win the game. So I got to get a Gravity here. If he wants to put my, you know, if he wants to try and put my Bronzong to sleep, fine. If he, you know, he can try and Hypnosis again, it won't do anything. He probably wants to set up his own Gravity. So I figure, you know what? If he goes for a Hypnosis, whatever. You know, if he misses it, I'll get my Gravity up. If he goes for Gravity, fine. You know, I waste a turn. I can't really hit anything with a whole lot of damage anyways. So I just go for Gravity and a Precipice Blades. But he actually sets up Gravity for me, which is nice. Because now, you know, my little pretty Bronzong doesn't get to do a whole lot, but it's okay. But I unfortunately stay asleep. So he's getting very lucky here. He's getting extremely lucky here. Like everything's going in his favor for me to come back. For him to come back. From what was before, you know, pretty much a kind of like, you know, one-sided battle. Here's the thing. Seeing this now, the way he switched in his Groudon like that, I am 100% certain he's got After You on the Musharna. And I'm 100% certain he's going to After You Precipice Blades. And so I'm thinking here, you know what? If he Precipice Blades, if he wants to do that play, Bronzong, you know, will survive. I can Hypnosis his Groudon and then win the game. Because my Groudon cannot be put to sleep this turn because it'll go after the Musharna. And then I'll just be able to get a Precipice Blades off and win the game. So I go ahead and make this play. I get the Protect off. Just to, you know, mitigate some damage. You know, prevent the damage. Keep it spread on for now. But he goes for the After You and does the Precipice Blades. All that stuff. Hits the Bronzong. And I'm like, alright, this is alright. And he crits my Bronzong. Which, I was mad about it at the time, but actually it wasn't that bad. It actually, I probably would have won otherwise. But what it actually allowed me to do is, as Trick Room expires, it allowed me to bring in my max speed, timid Kyogre. So now there's nothing to stop me from going for a Water Spout. There's not a thing in the world he can do to stop me from going for a Water Spout. He can protect Groudon, let the Musharna go down. He can switch out Groudon. I get the Water Spout off either way, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. So he does just protect his Groudon, and I get the Water Spout off, and I go for a Water Spout, Precipice Blades, and he knows at this point that he can't win. But I mean, he was pretty far behind from the beginning, just because I didn't. Really, it was just because I let Kangaskhan go down. Letting Kangaskhan go down and getting the Trick Room up was the play that mattered the most. Not letting him forcing him to go for a second substitute, which was completely by accident. But it ended up helping. So he didn't. Basically, I got my setup before he got his. Is what ended up happening. He goes for a Sludge Bomb, which is fine. I still know that even if he crits me, a Water Spout will take out the Groudon. It's not a big deal, and I just win the game. And I like winning. Winning is fun. Winning is great. So yeah, that was a pretty scary one. I was very, very scared going into this one because I know Juwon's a great player. But I managed to win that game, so now I'm 4-0. So basically, I win one more game, and I'm in top cut, which is fantastic. So that's it today, guys. I hope you like it. I'm gonna come back next week with some more of these games. I'm gonna show you all my games. I actually don't have all my games. My round 5. What ended up happening was I was playing against a friend of mine, Jan, and he accidentally only brought 2 Pokemon. So at these mid-season showdowns and premier challenges, if you don't know, if you bring too few or too many Pokemon, it's an automatic game loss. So I guess technically I could have let him I could have let us start over, but I already seen his lead Pokemon, and I really just wanted to take the win because it was guaranteeing me top cut, and the whole point of this tournament was just to qualify for Worlds. So I felt kind of bad about it, but in retrospect, really, as much time and money and traveling that I invest into this, and trying to get to the World Finals, which is my goal over the past year, not taking that win would have been stupid. It would have been really stupid. I guess it would have been technically more sportsmanlike, but also stupid, Like, I guess the whole thing is, he misclicked. He accidentally hit the confirm button with his finger when he was trying to pick his Pokemon. But, that has never happened to me because I don't use the touchscreen. I use the control pad. So, lesson learned, I suppose. Maybe that's harsh. I don't know. But, yeah, so I actually won't be bringing you my round 5 is the point. I'll be bringing you my round 6. So, after that, the 5-0, one more round of Swiss. I'm guaranteed top cut. So the last game is actually pretty fun. So I'll see you next week.